Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy JE back with another NFL tier list for week 3. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. These games this week were insane. Philly came back from, I think it was 26 to 7, I think, something like that. They might, when they actually let Jalen Hurts play quarterback, they might be the best team in the league. So obviously, they're first in the will of the champion category. So next we got the Bills. If I could find them. Bills, they're in the dream start category. Their schedule is very light for the next couple weeks, so I expect to see them undefeated barring injury or just underperformance. They beat up the Dolphins. Dolphins played competitively though, I will say that. Um Josh Allen's making another MVP case. There's nothing much really to say about him other than that. The Colts. Now, I did not see this coming. They might be the dark horse of the AFC. Daniel Jones looks good, unfortunately for me. Um, Offense looks great. Defense is a little concerning, but overall, I think they might win their division handily. Handedly, sorry. Um, I got the Chargers next. Um, Herbert made a phenomenal throw last game to pretty much win the game, and he's awesome, man. He's finally looking like the quarterback everyone's been expecting him to be for the last maybe 5 or 6 years. Um, the Bucks. And that game with the Jets was crazy. Two blocked kicks, return for a touchdown. Just insanity. Insanity, bro. Um, yeah, Baker is playing out of his mind. I think he might be in the MVP discussion as well, so rightfully so. I'm happy. I love watching Baker play. He's electric, man. Uh, all right. So these next three teams, there's like a bit of an asterisk with them, but the Jags. Now, I say the Jags because they're like 2 or 3, maybe 4 plays away from being undefeated. And I think that's, as a Jags fan, I would say they are like, I'm not a Jags fan, but like if I were a Jags fan, I would say this is a dream start because we've been very bad for the last couple years, and Trevor Lawrence is playing better than he has been. Still not up to par, but it's moving in the right direction. Um, the Niners, and I say that in terms of their record. If I'm not mistaken, they're 3-0. I can double check that really fast. But Brock Purdy, they've been able to win in spite of him being injured. Their entire team has been kind of injured, and they're still able to get W's. So you got to be happy about that if you're a Niners fan. Oops. Let me see if they're undefeated or if I'm chatting shit. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, they're 3-0. So I think that's kind of like a testament to how good Kyle Shanahan is. Their roster is pretty solid. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say about them. Next, Lions. So they beat up, like they out physicaled the Ravens on Monday Night Football on prime time. We'll get to the Ravens a little later, but I don't know if it's the coordinators or if it's just Dan Campbell, but the Lions play with a level of aggression that I think every team needs. They don't care who you are, they're gonna run through you, back up, and then run through you again. They just don't know any other way, and I really like watching them play. Their asterisk, though, is that other than the Packers game to start the season, where they had two new coordinators, they had a trade a week before the first game against their opponents. Other than those factors, I think they would beat 3-0. I think their next game against the Packers, they would beat them. Not so special teams. The Rams. So they had two blocked field goals in this game against the Eagles. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. They played almost a perfect game against Philly and they crumbled on special teams. They lost the game on special teams. Packers, same thing. Same thing. They lost the game on special teams. I was higher on the Packers, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. They just fizzled out against the Browns. Empty calories. Now, these teams won this week, but they beat up on bad teams. Seahawks, they put up like 40 something against the Saints. I mean, like, come on. I want to see more. I want to see more. The Chiefs, they beat up on my Giants. I mean, Russell Wilson bailed them out twice by just throwing bonehead interceptions while we were driving up the field. By the way, Jackson Dart is our starter, so there might be, some excitement back in MetLife Stadium. Let's see. Steelers. They played well enough to win, but I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers has come back to planet Earth, and if he's not playing special, the Steelers are going to be like a 500 team. Let's see. Commanders. Their two wins are against the Giants and the Raiders. Two bottom feeding teams. Oops. I'm putting them in the wrong category. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, they've been beating up on bad teams. I mean, what do you expect? Next, I got the Cardinals. The Cardinals had the Saints and the Panthers to start their schedule. and they played a competent team in San Francisco and lost. So I don't know what else to make of that. I need more like data before I can determine if they're like a real playoff threat or not. Vikings. Their first win was against the Bears. Their second win was against a Joe Burrow-less not Saints, a Bengals squad. Granted, they put up 48 because that dude had a pick six, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and I think he had like 4 or 5 tackles in the first half. That dude on the Vikings, the DB, he's a monster. I don't know what he took before the game, but he needs to be drug tested immediately. Momentum shifting. These teams are trending up or trending down. And what I mean by that is their season can spiral very quickly depending on their next 2, 3 games. Panthers are on the up and up. They just put on a dominant performance against Atlanta. 30-0 is a little crazy. The Bears. They just destroyed the Cowboys, which I love to see. As a Giants fan, that made my weekend. Caleb finally looked like a real NFL quarterback that can play within the structure of the offense. And for those of you that don't know what that means, it's basically like, playing within the rhythm and the timing of the offense and making sure they're ahead of the chains. Let's see. The Browns. This could give the Browns some confidence. They beat up the Packers. Packers are a good team. Could make them better moving forward. Give them some much needed confidence. And show them that their defense is legit and can win them some games. Let's see. So those 3 teams are trending upwards. These 3 teams are trending downwards. The Ravens. Derrick Henry has fumbled in every game this season. I won't say the last game is on him specifically, but he is the common denominator in their losses. You have to hold on to the football if you're going to run. He can't become what he's becoming at this stage in his career. It'll ruin his career. Lamar looked pedestrian, I will say. He got sacked 7 times, but if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 of those were his fault for holding on to the ball too long. I don't know, it just looked weird. Like, he seemed like he knew it was going to be a shootout, and it seemed like he was trying to get it all back in one play every time. Broncos, where are they at? So, the Broncos season comes down to that leverage call against the Colts, and at least to this point, not like in total, but to this point. The leverage call against the Colts and a phenomenal throw by Justin Herbert. I don't know if I would feel good about the way they're playing if I were a Broncos fan. But what I will say is that they've looked competitive in every game, and that's what's important. The Raiders. No. Just no. They scored 20 points, but at the same time, Geno Smith is running for his life as soon as the ball is snapped. So, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, we scored 20, but we give up 40. So, whatever, man. They're fried. Falcons. This was a demoralizing loss if you're the Falcons. Your franchise quarterback, quote unquote, looked very pedestrian. He looked like he hasn't played a lot of games. And the Panthers just got after him. That's all I could really say. And turnovers galore. This weekend, these three teams had multiple turnovers. Bengals, I think the Bengals had 5. They needed a quarterback. They could trade for Russell Wilson now that Joe Burrow is injured and probably out for the year. And the Giants are not going to probably go back to him. If the Bengals want to trade for him, they could trade for him. He's probably available. Patriots. I think they also had 5 turnovers. You're not going to win very many games like that. Granted, their team is still young, but I expect them to be more disciplined with Vrabel as their coach. So they're going to have to clean up some things. But overall, I would say their franchise is trending upward. And the Cowboys. I think Dak had 2 picks this week. And if I'm not mistaken, the Bears scored on both of those interceptions. So, with that being said, turnovers galore. And these teams are 0, so to speak. 0-3. I don't know what's going on with CJ Stroud. He looks very pedestrian, I'll say. That'd be nice because I like CJ. Bruh, I don't know what's going on with my team, bro. I don't want to fire our coach. I think he's a pretty good coach. But it seems like our offense is just not consistent. We're either explosive or nothing. There needs to be some semblance of a consistent script. Our team can't do anything. It's really weird. The Saints, I mean, they're projected to have the number 1 pick before the season even started. So their team is old and devoid of talent. And yeah, I mean, yeah, what can I say? The Jets, I think they could have won this week if they had Justin Fields. But he's out, I think, for the next 2 weeks as well. So they have Tyrod Taylor as his backup. He's serviceable, but I don't know how many games they were expected to win in general. But they look like they're turning around their culture. So that's a good sign. Titans, I mean, they've had a pretty tough schedule. They played the Colts, they played the Denver, and I think they played the Jags. So, I mean, and they have a rookie quarterback he's pretty good. His arm is solid. I'm impressed. I didn't watch much of Cam Ward in college, so I really don't know. But from what I see, he's pretty good. He can make all the throws. He has a little bit of arrogance in his arm. He feels like he can make any throw from any platform, which is what you want out of your quarterback. And then I got the Dolphins. I don't know, man. Tua's got to go, bro. He, he threw a right Tua defender the other game. I'm sorry, that was bad. But a game on the line and he just threw a horrible interception. I don't know. And he can't play in the cold. He can't play under pressure. Excuse me. I don't know. He's just fried. And now I'm going to try to order these teams based on how good they are in relation to each other, I guess. So I'll do this. Um, yeah, I mean, the only reason I have the Lions ahead of these two undefeated teams is because their physicality is real. It's a real thing. Um, Kansas City, just like you got to give them that respect. They've been in, I think, five of the last or four of the last five Super Bowls, something like that. Um, I don't. This is very tough against these two, between these two. Sorry, they played each other already, but like, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I'll do that. Uh, these teams are just ass. Like, I think the Ravens would beat all these teams. So, and then I think the Broncos would beat the rest of these teams. And I think that trend stops here with the Bears. Because I think all of these teams right here can beat each other. So so you could fucking what is that, a five-way tie for third place? Sure. Uh, just because of the Bengals quarterback situation, I would have to put them last. Um, yeah, I have to. The only respect the Dolphins get is that they played Buffalo tough through three quarters of football. But that's it. I mean, what am I supposed to do, bro? Um, yeah, I mean, what else can I really do? So now moving on to my picks for week 4. We got Thursday Night Football coming up. Actually, before I do that, I'm just gonna flash over to my picks from last week. I want to see if I was right or what I was right and wrong on. Yeah. So these were the games. And yeah, I'll put it up on the screen. So my picks this week are Seattle, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Washington, Buffalo, Detroit, Tennessee, the Patriots. I'm never picking against the Giants. I don't care. I'll pick the Giants. I want to take the Bucks, the Colts. I'm gonna take the Jags. I don't know. I feel the Jags are kind of spicy. I take the Jags. This is gonna be a classic. Uh, I don't know, bro. That's tough. I'm gonna take the Ravens. Actually, nah, I take the Chiefs. I'll take the Chiefs. Ravens defense is horrid. Um, I'll take the Bears. And Sunday Night Football is gonna be a good one too. I'll take Green Bay. And then we got another Monday night doubleheader. Yo, it's Peyton. Um, I take the Jets and I take the Broncos. Yep. So we'll see if I do better on my picks this week. Yep. So these are the current not standings, but you know, this is where everyone fares after week 3. And thanks for the support like always, guys. It means a lot. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that good stuff. Hold your loved ones close, your enemies closer, and everybody be safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next one.